Good to see you again, Pippa. Do you want
Yeah,
to
nice
just
to meet
introduce
you.
yourself? Just tell us a little bit about you for those that are watching the video.
Yeah, so my name's Pippa Ford, and I'm vicar of a church in Camberley. I've always been very interested in the prophetic and evangelism. Yeah, that's a bit about me.
Thank you. So myself and Fiona led a DASEL for your church some months back, maybe a year or so ago. How did you hear about DASEL and what drew you to it?
So it was through Eastgate Church in Gravesend. I've been and done the evening school there, and I do the day school there as well. And I met Fiona there and heard about DASEL through there. Um, and because I've seen the prophetic unwrap things for people and open up things for people in the past when I've been praying for people and doing healing on the streets and stuff, I wanted us as a church to be equipped in that. And it's something that's quite new for this church. They've not stepped out and done this sort of thing before.
When you heard about DASEL, how did you decide that was what you wanted to do, and what were your expectations for it?
I think the thing that really struck me was that speaking to both you and Fiona about it, there was just a sort of, this is exciting. This is God's heart for people, that it's not hard to do, that it's actually just stepping out and having a go, and that this is what we're made to do. And I just loved the way that you put that across, that yeah, just step out, have a go, let's try it, let's see. And I think that makes it very easy to get people to engage with it as well.
Excellent. We met with you over 7 evenings. A good number of people from your church. We really
Yeah,
enjoyed meeting them and them engaging with the DASEL course. How did you find it overall?
I think it was really good. I'd only been, I think, at the church about 2 months at that point when we did the course online. And I think people were encouraged by it. Some sort of felt, oh no, it's not quite for me at this point, but others definitely got on board with it. I thought the teaching was really good, and then having a time of activation as well, always within each session, where it's sort of stirring you up a bit about how you can then put it into practice, and then also giving us things that we needed to do to step out each week and to have a go, I think was helpful for people because it gave them something to aim for. So yeah, it was good.
So yeah, one of our favourite parts of the course is where we get people to listen to Holy Spirit through some of the activations, and also when people go and try it. They're a
Yeah,
bit often timid, aren't they? A bit sure, is
yeah,
this going to work for me? Might work for someone else, or it might work for Mark and Fiona. And then they come back, or some of them come back the next week with some stories. And that happened with some of your church, didn't it? They had some stories, and you had some stories.
yes, yeah. For some reason, God kept giving me flowers for different people, but every time he did, it really, really connected with them. And, we opened up a conversation, we were able to pray. But yes, other people in the church family had a go and, made connections with people. And I think what we saw quite a lot was how God used a very specific person to connect with that person out in the community, and that they were exactly the right person, that God had gone before and prepared that conversation, and that was really encouraging for them to see that.
It was, I remember that, wasn't it? That they had something in their past or something that God had done in their life
Yeah,
so relevant to the person they met that week. It was,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really, really good.
could you tell us one of your flower stories?
Oh, one of my flower stories. Yeah, there was a lady in Next. I was buying something in Next, and there are other retailers available, I have to say, but it was Next that I was in. And she was behind the till, and she had beautifully painted nails. And God just prompted me to mention her nails, but also gave me bluebells as the flower. And this was um, sort of May time, I think. So it was just after the bluebell season. Anyway, so I commented on her nails, and she said, "Oh, thank you very much." And I said, "Look, I'm a Christian. I'm practicing listening to God, and just had the word bluebells. Does that mean anything for you?" And she just burst into tears. And she said, "How did you know that?" She said, "Because my most precious time in my day is walking my son to school, and we walk through the Bluebell Woods. And it's my most special time of day because I just love being with him, and I'm walking with him to school. And she said, and that's so amazing that you knew that. And so, so I was able to say, well, I didn't, but God did. And can I pray with you? And she said, oh, yes, please. That would be amazing. So, it was very simple. And it's just stepping out and thinking, well, okay, that might be of God. Let's share it and see what he does with it,
That's an amazing story, isn't it? That's just incredible. So has it left any kind of lasting impact in the church or in some of the people that attended the DASEL course?
Yes. So then you guys came and did a training day with us as well, which was fabulous. So you came and did some sort of live teaching with us, and then we went into the town together and had a go and took some photos and things and did some treasure hunt stuff. And we're still continuing. We're doing that every month. And we're going to do another training with you guys in March. And we're trying to get other churches in the Camberley area to join in with that. And we'll just see where it goes. But certainly, with St. Michael's, we're committed to doing this. And I've always had a passion about doing testimony slots in services anyway. But now the testimonies are starting to come where people are giving stories about how they've reached out to people in the community. So not just testimonies about what God's doing in their own lives, but how he's using them in the community, which is really exciting. So, yeah.
That's such a good idea. I love that. I remember when Fiona and I came and spent that day with you in Camberley. We had so much fun. And I think credit to those in your church who were all very willing to have a go. And God draws too many people to the table.
Yeah, he did. Even as we were setting it up, people were just coming across. And what was so lovely about those from the church that wanted to be involved, we had people in their 80s through to a 14-year-old. So it was across the range of the church that people had caught the vision. And, it was only a small team, and it's still only a small team, but God will grow that, It's just such a joy to be out there and doing it. So, yeah.
If you were going to recommend DASEL to anybody else or any other churches that were looking to get into training in evangelism, how would you recommend it to them?
I would say that it is a very inspiring, practical, fun and equipping course to do, actually, that makes people realise that actually God is interested in the everyday moments that we have when we just meet somebody at the supermarket or at the petrol station, and that, he wants us to have adventures every day. And I think that's what's opened up the eyes of people in our church to, that actually that's the sort of God that we have, that he makes these divine appointments in our days, and we just need to join in with them,
That's brilliant. So just final question, if you had to pick out a favourite moment during the DASEL course or a favourite memory, what would you pick?
The favourite moment would be doing treasure hunt. We did a treasure hunt in Camberley, and I was with Fiona doing it, and there was this 2 young girls, and they came across, and she was just going down the treasure hunt list going, well, that's a tick, and that's a tick, and that's a tick, with a big smile. And these girls, their faces were just sort of transformed as they realised how much detail God knew about them and had shown that to everybody before we went out. And I think that is my passion, to see people transformed by the love of God, and it's just such a lovely way to do that. So, yeah.
Excellent. That's such a good story. It's so encouraging, isn't it, when we hear God and God uses that to touch people. So thank you very much, Pippa, for sharing with us about DASEL. Really appreciate your time.
Well, very welcome, and thank you guys for sharing it with us, because it's been great, really great.